Virgo. I hope everything is well and wonderful with the new year coming in. I hope the holidays treated you very well. I am Mindy with Mountain Medicine Tarot, and I'm going to go ahead and pull from each of these decks today. So I'm going to get them a little bit shuffled, more so for you, and because I did already shuffle them before. Then I have a lack of table. So we're going to start with these orange cards. I'm going to be doing a medicine wheel, so I will explain the placement as I go. There's the placement of the cards, and then also there are cards that mean the same as the placement. So it's important to understand where the cards fall. Okay, so right in the center, we'll start obviously with the center of you. It's who you are at the core. And then we have down here the placement of the south. It's represented by wolves, or the wolf. And they talk about relationships, past experiences, growth, lessons, that type of thing. Then we go over here represented by the bear. It's the place of hibernation. It's a place of renewal, rebirth, coming out refreshed and really doing that purity type of like healing work is over in that space with the bear. Then up in the north spot, we have the placement of abundance and the stars and manifestation, law of attraction, meditation, dreams, that type of thing. And that's connected to the buffalo. It's just utter abundance. Everything is used and they're really large. So buffalo is abundant energy. Then over here is the place of the eagle. It's going east. And it has everything to do with illumination, clarity, having all of the tools ready and necessary to make your next action step. So it's connected to the stars, obviously, but then the legend behind eagles is that they fly up so high that they disappear, and then as they come back into the ozone and the people are able to see them as just a little speck in the sky, they believe that they're going forward and up over the ozone to the stars to communicate and then bring back those messages. So it's clarity and illumination, and then also the place of the next action step. So on the bottom of the deck, we have respect and sacred space. So you can see that this little child is doing the medicine wheel, where we have all of those placements put together with rocks that are assigned different colors. And this little human is putting together a protection for herself, surrounding herself with a bright white light. So we'll start with that right in the center there for you. Oh, and right in the center we have this ideas of everything manifested. It's material gain, it's picking the fruits of the seedlings that you've planted, it's manifestation and law of attraction at its best. So wonderful energy to start a year off with. Congratulations, Virgo. Now we'll go to the south, and this can be anything from the childhood to the last month. It's just the past. We have intentions. So possibly, excuse me, it could be business plans. It could be just intentions. It's setting the tone for manifestation. It's the first step of law of attraction, which is that of intention. So we'll come back to that as we go around. But we'll go here to this hibernation space, and we have purification. So that's a perfect place for this card to be. It recommends, excuse me, it recommends using water in your purification. So either submerging completely in water to take a bath, or going to a steam room, sweat lodge, that type of thing, to really open up the pores on a body physical level. And then also, purification of the mind, body, and soul, obviously. So up north we have nurturing. So usually I like to see this card up there, because this card is the meaning of this placement with that manifestation energy. But instead we have sacred space, which is self-respect and boundaries, and then purification, which is also kind of a closed dome. And then we have nurturing, which is the blood of the earth. It's also connected to water, and it's kind of a mothering energy that's just very laid back and accepting and always knows what to do. Then moving forward, we have original source. Perfect. So this tells me that you are connected to the stars. You've sent your intention out to the stars. And the manifestation, at least the manifestation power, is definitely within you. So it looks like the intentions have been set. Great Mystery is hearing you and responding to you. And then we have this sacred space kind of in the midst. So what I'll do is switch to the next deck. We've got 4 decks total. I'm going to grab some water here. All right. When I do lots of readings back to back, I get a little bit choked up. So bear with me. So I have here the Spirit of the Wheel. You can see the medicine wheel. And these are the placements of the cards. And I really like this deck for the artwork. However, it gets the animals wrong. Exhibit A. So this is renewal and the path of the north. So right here it has the eagle. And like I said, it's represented by the buffalo. So they had good intentions when they wrote the cards, just not when they colored them. So we have here spiritual process, success, and hope. And where I would put this is right here in between going within yourself to do purification work and moving forward with your mind as far as meditation. We have that in-between spiritual process, which is the meaning here of this card, which is just to come back to source, come back to alignment. Don't overthink, and just know that the process is happening. The success is guaranteed, absolutely. And your intentions have been set, and, you know, it's flying here towards the universe and towards your pocket, essentially, or your, you know, needs manifested. So, there really is just no need for worrying. They just ask that we all, in 2018, the overall collective message is to connect to water and then earth and then water again and earth again. It's just very imperative that we all connect to our mind, body, and soul and really understand them on a level that we have not yet done before. 2018 in numerology, astrology, all sorts of different ologies have just proven to be there's magic everywhere. So then this card has come out for almost everybody. It's just the embodiment of the sign of Cancer. So you are a Virgo, you're an earth sign. And this one is water. So like I said, earth, water, earth, water. And this is just reminding you to connect to that water. And this also, you know, I really like the raccoons because they're just really cute and cuddly. They're vulnerable in a way just because they're really little, and they're social little creatures. They don't actually have anything to do with Cancer, but the joy and the overall very nurturing and motherly type energy. Cancers are very soft at heart. So it's just reminding you to, as you're going through this process with going into your own space for personal healing and putting that boundary up kind of around yourself. This one flew out like, whoa, for the next step. This is the Stone of the Ancestors. So it could be that somebody is on the other side, like the non-physical realm, wanting to contact you, or you have an ancestor in your midst, like a spiritual teacher who is available to you and could easily offer you this nurturing that you might need. And, you know, it's okay to need nurturing and support sometimes. And a lot of times we, as people and human beings, kind of deny ourselves that, in all honesty. And it's just for fear of being vulnerable. And as I was going to say, I'll go back to this dome energy. We're recommended to do this where we kind of create a little turtle shell around our vulnerable insides, and then we do this inner work. And we have to keep in mind that it's for our highest good, and it is to do the nurturing stuff, not to sit and list our flaws, or to try and fix ourselves, or to look at our shadow self with disgust or hate. It's not at all like that. If you're putting that boundary up, you're locking yourself in with yourself, and that is not scary. So something that's come up for just about everybody so far in the readings is, the tricks on the mind. And, it's when we talk about ego in the spiritual realm, we're not talking about literally being egotistical. We're actually talking about that left brain coming in and puncturing the right brain, which is the creative and the emotional and the in tune and the connected parts of ourselves. So 2018 is really asking us to lead with that energy, to be connected to the earth and water, and do that grounding work where you're just like putting your toes in the sand, and you're, getting muddy or dirty in the garden, and you're really coming in tune to the inner works of yourself as you do that. So, love is that of the south, and we're putting that over here with the east. So what that means is, right here, moving forward, your original source, you might even have been praying for love or wanting love, and that's kind of your intention. That makes a lot of sense with the positions here. But, so moving forward, relationships, partnerships, unconditional love, and again with rejuvenation. So, rather than, thinking one-track mind a little bit on finding yourself a partner, something that somebody told me kind of when I was looking, I'll pull one for the center, but as I was kind of going through that, my brother said, rather than imagining the avatar of your perfect partner, imagine them, and then who do you see standing next to them? Well, who you see standing next to them is who you need to be concentrating on, because the goal is to make that you. So if you are thinking about love, wanting love, which could be very likely, we'll pull one for the center here. And we have the whole energy of Gemini. And Gemini is the twins. They are the balancers. They're not in the same way as Libra. Libra is like the balancers of justice and speaking and documents and very left brain, where Gemini and Scorpio, which has been coming out a lot, have almost, or Cancer too, with the water. So this is water and air. If ever you're feeling a little bit conflicted, or like you've got a little bit too much going on, that balanced energy and balanced emotion is a lot more needed than balancing like kind of like the checkbook and the balances, checks and balances type of energy. So I'll put that in the middle. It goes with this sacred space card and the purification as well, where it's just a matter of being honest with yourself about how you feel about every situation as the situation arises. It's really important to allow ourselves this space to heal and feel and really not analyze, but just come to understand our inner workup, like your own personal brand, your own personal, like your Instagram, your Pinterest, and your profile. Like, that's just kind of the world we live in now, and I want you to just really love it and stop comparing yourself, because I feel like that's kind of been going on. Okay, so we do have some confrontation upside down, and this goes in the south, so I'm kind of worried about that having to do with relationships. There might be a situation where you need to kind of remove yourself for a while, put the boundaries up, and just do your inner transformation work and your self-work, and let this kind of fizzle out. So wild boars have these really big tusks. I'll put them upside down so you can look at them, but really big tusks and really swift and hard bite. So they do not wait to know what you're saying. They just bite your face off. So then we have right next to it over here is spiritual process and intentions. So we'll see. We'll go around the wheel another time. So we'll see what all that confrontation is going on, because we have really good energy sitting right next to it, with the renewal and the path of the north being all about manifestation. Over here in the south, represented by love, which it looks like has been on your frontal lobe. It's something that you want. And maybe We'll see. Let's look inside here. Hidden observations. So, weasel. So they're a little bit more low to the ground, but they're also very versatile. So they can get into places that other animals cannot. So hidden observations just means you have the ability to dive deep into situations and find your own answers. And that kind of goes with this ancestor that popped out for you. We'll keep going here. Let me move upwards. So with that higher good, higher self energy, and there's lots of manifestation energy. So this one is dreaming, dream time, which is meditation and higher self and, moving forward with your mind. Lizards are also a gap between water and earth, so they transform in a way by going through that portal, like they can go in the mud and the water and be totally camouflaged, and then they can walk on land as well. So it's just about being very dynamic and being welcome to lots of change. So it's also about law of attraction, which you seem to at very least understand, just because there is so much manifestation energy in your reading so far. So then we have this one flip, and this guy has been in just about everyone's reading. It's about magic, and it's about attracting based upon what you're thinking about. So they're black, so they blend into the night sky. They're connected to the stars. They are a winged bird, winged being a bird. So they have that ability to, fly up so high that they connect to the spirit realm and come back down, but their voice box was taken away, kind of like a Boy That Called Wolf type of story. So, the legends, as far as the cards go, are a little bit deep. So I try not to go into them so hard, just because if I did, I would be here for a really long time. Explaining all of the stories. So just know that you get what you think about, whether you like it or not. So just understand that your relationship with law of attraction is that it's working no matter what you do. So whatever you concentrate on is what continues, and I just want you to really know what it is you're putting out there before it just ends up, in the world and going up to the stars and coming back to you in the physical realm without you fine-tuning it and being in control of it. So, because we do have the control to create our own destiny. Sorry, show you the back of the card. We do have the control to create, and I want you to utilize that. And so, let's pull an animal for the center. Okay, so we have records, and that kind of goes with the stone of ancestors, just because stones are the oldest part of the earth. They've been around the longest, and I say that because this one popped out to you. So and whales too, they're the most prehistoric animal, that I can think of. They're pretty close to dinosaurs as far as that goes, and they're ginormous. Like, they don't get messed with, right? So it's about information. It's about connecting to that ancestral parts, digging deeper into more ancient things, like things that are more ancient than ourselves. That ability to research is just really, really useful. So doing like family history stuff I've found to be very useful for myself. So I recommend it to all of my clients, just really digging deep into where your ancestors came from and what your DNA holds for you, because there's a lot of spirit guides do tend to use DNA to keep close and attracted to their, spirits that they've made soul contracts with. So once you start looking into state records and church records or whatever else, you actually find that things will just jump out at you. And just as you do your own spiritual journey, that's all about yourself, like I said, to create yourself to be the ideal human being that you see standing next to your ideal partner. So in order to do that, you connect to your mind, body, and soul fine-tune your abilities, because I feel like you have some serious manifesting power. And then this one's come out for just about everybody too. And I'm going to put this down here in the south. So this is a temple. You can see we've got like the circle, the dome, again. So I do feel like there's some boundaries that need to go up. I just feel like this bright light that surrounds is going to be very helpful for you. So the temple in particular is really the sacred space again. You have to go inside to find all the jewels. You've got so many of these jewels and so much manifestation power and so much energy that you can be working with, and I just feel like you haven't really harnessed all of the energy to come together and be used in your favor. And also with the maze that's on that temple, I feel like maybe, I don't know, I'd like to know more about the partnership, relationship, love sector. So this is a general reading, like I said. I just don't like this confrontation here upside down. And then we have the north here, which is the position of the south, right? So that's just a duality going on. And then we have south here. So, Sorry, let me just tune in for a minute. Confrontation with the temple. Okay, and it's with your intentions as well. So the majority of this reading is about your relationship with law of attraction. I know that sounds a little bit cheesy, but you know, the temple has to do with within you. Let me read that one. So it's about power, wisdom, the assistance of already knowing, so your own inner knowing, presence, and undoing, like the action of relinquishing yourself from a situation to gain higher knowledge. And I like that a lot. So if you're in a situation, a relationship, or you're wanting answers on this situation, definitely reach out to me, because personal readings are just a little bit more accurate, and I don't want to give too much directed energy to one outcome. So these little birds are going to go over here with the inner workup, and so that makes sense. So this is the inner space and within. And the story of the parrots is that, and these little guys have come out a lot for everybody as well. They were in the middle of the village before the white man came. These are Amazonian, by the way. Before the white man came to Central America, the two birds were in the middle of the village, causing a ruckus, going crazy, trying to communicate a specific message, which was that this like big humongous boat was coming full of white people dressed in suits and armor, and they're here to like cause havoc. And they even grabbed Monkey, because Monkey represents the left brain, and it came to translate, because at first it was just gibberish. So the monkey translated and said that message, and the whole villagers were like, I still don't understand. I really don't get what you're saying. And then they came and it happened, and the birds were able to say, I told you so. So nothing is unfathomable. And we have this right here next to hidden observations. So this one is searching for answers, and this one already knows the answer. And it's all within you. So I know that's kind of a frustrating answer to get when you're in the middle of a reading, because I have a specific card that I was always pulling constantly as I was going through my hardest times. I always got the card saying, you have your own answers. The power behind that message, though, is very much directed towards you. So I just feel like you're not giving yourself enough credit. And then this one is a cosmic egg. So you can see it's kind of like an atom splitting, or like an atom itself. It's like the energy behind all of creation. We have the field here, which is, the fruits coming out for you, the law of attraction, and great mystery. Yeah. So this one and that one are the stars, communication with the other realms, having your needs manifested in like real time. You have that type of power and ability, and that goes with this one as well, which is dreaming, same as meditation. And meditation just fine tunes that alignment, and then all these hidden observations and the confrontation going on, whatever is going on in this relationship sector, it just kind of falls away if you know deep in your soul how worth it you are. And so I feel like I just want to give you guys a virtual hug because, like I said, these domes really speak out to me, where the circle engulfs you and you have other people who are willing and ready to give you this nurturing that you want, and I want you to manifest that. That's why it's here in the manifestation place. Because if you're feeling like you're at odds with your emotions, you're not sure what to do next, it just might mean you might want people in your immediate circle to be reaching out to you or you reaching out to them. And we have the helping hands card to fine tune that. So all of these different hands coming together. I'm really trying to work with the light, guys. I'm sorry. It's so like bright. Okay, so let me read this one. And so we have the hand wheel. It has all of the directions with the direction colors again, which is what we're doing here on the table. And it's saying offering a positive attitude, fulfillment to reach your goals, the whole idea of fulfillment, reaching for your goals, there's a comma there, without hesitation. So there's no comma there. So offering positive attitude, fulfillment, reaching for your goals without hesitation, being generous, being affectionate. And the affection comes here as well. So it might be someone even in your midst who is asking you for protection and for this assistance energy, and it's actually you who needs it. So the success part is in your midst. The magic is in your hands. I really like the idea of records going back into your DNA makeup. I really enjoyed doing that for myself. It just helps a lot when you're diving deep into your own personal space, even like your zodiac sign. It goes a lot more deep than just a Virgo. For example, I'm an Aries, but I am a rising Taurus Capricorn moon. So I'm 2 earths and a fire, right? And so you might be an earth and then like yada yada. So it's just a bigger, let me pull one more for the center here. There's just always more horizons to look up. Speaking of which, we've got this little ocelot. So I mentioned that the placement of the eagle over here, where we're talking about the east, is all about illumination and clarity and communicating messages from the spirit realm down. Well, these little guys, they also move up through the forest, up through the trees, so high up that they come down with sunspots. The difference between eagles and birds is the birds are willing to communicate what they find out. However, the cats, all big cats, some coyotes, that's why coyotes being in between a loyal dog and a quiet, all-knowing cat is a trickster, right? Because they're between the two. They're like a canine feline, where these are very strictly feline, and felines refuse to speak. They just know. So and he comes right between the hidden observations and the confrontation. So really, whatever it is that you find out, if there is information that you are looking for, if you are searching for information, I feel as though you already know it. And I feel like the confrontation is just unnecessary, and it might just be how in depth you want to dig when it comes to love relationships and wanting to be really lovey dovey. It is possibly not serving you right here and now. Just because we have confrontation in the relationship sector, and this having to do with spiritual process and hope, and then this is intentions, which lines up perfectly with law of attraction and manifestation. Then we have the stars and manifestation as far as meditation goes there. We have meditation here. And then we have purification going down here to kind of illuminate this issue, whatever it being in your relationship space. It's just reminding you that no matter what, it's your sacred space that matters, and it's your boundaries that matter. So bring those in and incorporate those in your daily routine, or, going out dancing, or going to an art class, whatever it is that really makes you feel grounded and back down to earth. So, speaking of which, this one pulled out too. This is a grasshopper. Like I said about the lizard going between worlds, this one goes between earth and air. So this is earth and water. This one's earth and air. And it's a motherly energy just because the grasshopper was, by legend, the very first animal or critter to come up through the soil and see air. And so she, being a feminine nature, she used her nurturing, motherly guidance and led the people up to safety from the underworld. So it's very legendary. But long story short, the people, once they got up and out of the underworld and could see the air and the greenery and stuff here, they decided that if the grasshopper lived, that they might have to one day go back into the underworld. Or maybe she was, helping everybody else up, and in that instance, they slammed her head down into the underworld and closed the door. So, it's motherly energy, it's a giving energy, it's Mother Earth, and it just goes to show kind of like that divine feminine and kind of what happens to mothers on kind of a social norm type thing, where it's like, it's not 1950s, where housewife stays home and mom doesn't have to work. It's kind of evolved. So 2018 is asking to lead with feminine nature, and I just can't stress that enough, and how wonderful that's going to be for everybody in terms of law of attraction and getting these needs that you have manifested. Just dig your roots down into the earth, do your chakra alignment, especially with the root chakra for you guys, and just come into that earth space, because you are an earth sign. So definitely utilize that, and the information that you're seeking for will come if it's necessary. If it's not necessary for this relationship to continue, or for you to be concentrating on that right now, the universe will always work out for your favor. However, in the moment, it might look a little bit like chaos. So just don't get trapped in a maze, and that is just your left brain. So really open that up by staying grounded and then reaching towards the stars as far as ancestors, and on the other side of the veil, as they call it, to just move forward with connecting to the stars. It's a really beautiful thing. Spirit guide meditations, just go on YouTube and search meditation, guided meditation. There are millions, I will dare say there's millions of different meditations. And then I work with this stuff as well, as far as the boundaries and mindset and spiritual transformation. So if that's something that you want to